What's up? This is Ray. Welcome back. Hey, check this out. Today we got a pretty special episode because this is an analog episode, but I'm going to be reviewing a film that I have never shot before and an ISO I've never shot before from a company who's never sent me film before. Today we're going to be checking out Lomography ISO 800 Color Negative film. And what's cool about this is I reviewed their ISO 100 film a while back. I'll put a link to that review, and I reached out to Lomography, and they were kind enough after seeing that review to send me the 800 ISO version to test, and that's really cool. So I got 3 rolls of medium format, and what is interesting, because I've never shot ISO 800, it's not necessarily a bright daylight film, but it's not necessarily a low light film. So it's kind of in between, and I'm going to have to learn different ways to get the most out of it. But if you're curious about a faster type of color film than the 400 that you're normally used to, stick around. We're going to be checking out the Lomography 800 ISO daylight film, and we're going to be seeing how it works, how it looks. If you're curious, stick around. Okay, so this is like a lower light film, but what I want to do, I want to see what is it going to look like if I shoot it in broad daylight. Let's see what the light meter tells us. Is this practical to use in broad daylight? Okay, we know we're supposed to meter for the shadow, so let me meter for my shadow. See what we got. Okay, so if my camera can shoot up to 1/1000th of a second, so I need to be between f8 and 5.6, and that's really not bad. So let's take this shot, and I'm really curious how it's going to turn out. All right, so one of the questions I had with this film is, I spend a lot of time outdoors in the daytime, so I'm wondering, how can I shoot this in the day? What are the applications that it's good for? And then it occurred to me, there's times when you're shooting sports. Let's say it's in a shaded area or the sun is setting and you need the highest shutter speed. Like, for example, this camera goes up to 1/1000th of a second. So that's a perfect scenario when you're going to be using this type of 800 film to freeze that kick of the soccer ball or the hit of the baseball. And it's not just a low light film, but you can think of other ways when you really need a high shutter speed, and this is like a kind of perfect solution to get that, to give you something that maybe ISO 400 wouldn't give. All right, so check this out. Where I'm at right now is a very kind of wooded park. It only has pine trees, and it's like all brown and green. It's a rainy day, it's very dreary day. I normally don't go out and shoot on a day like this, but this is really the perfect conditions for this 800 ISO film, isn't it? I'm gonna take a shot right here by this old fallen tree behind me, and I use the light meter. The light meter, even with this high-speed film, it's telling me to shoot at f4 at 1/60th of a second, which I try to avoid 1/60th anyway, but it just goes to show, if I had a 400 ISO film, it just wouldn't be enough. But let's take this shot and see what it looks like. All right, I'm going to try a pretty advanced shot right now. I'm going to set the self timer, and I'm going to sit in the midst of these ferns right here. Let me focus on them. And what's making it advance is I'm going to shoot it wide open, and I focus on one particular fern leaf. Hopefully I get it in focus. The meter is telling me to shoot at 1/60th of a second wide open. So I'm very curious how it's going to turn out. See what happens. Okay, I just want to show you some of the technical things about this film. This is the Lomography 800 on the left. This is Portra 160, for example, on the right. Notice how the Lomography film base has a slight magenta color to it, while the Portra has the usual light brown color. This magenta hue has really no effect on the image at all. Your scanner will color correct. I just like to point out, you know, little differences. And also notice the Lomography 800 film, I hope you can see it. It doesn't dry perfectly flat. It has a slight curve to it. And I haven't had any problems with my scanner focus, but I always like to show these particular things in case you're the one who's going to be scanning and developing it. Sometimes those things may or may not matter to you. All right, so that is the deal. That's our review of Lomography Color Negative 800. And I specifically want to thank Lomography, Charlotte at Lomography in Vienna, Austria, and also Birgit with Lomography USA, based in New York. They made it possible for us to test this film, and they also sent me another pack of film just like this that I sent out to 3 different photographers. I was supposed to get some images from them to help include in this review, but so far I haven't received any of those yet. So I decided I just wanted to do the review, get it out in a timely manner. So hopefully in the future, when I get those images from them, we can do a follow-up review of this film from the viewpoint of other photographers. So yeah, that's a real cool thing. So, oh, also, I'm gonna put a link to Lomography's website because they got a lot of different things there, not just film, not just cameras, not just lenses. They have all kind of accessories for analog stuff. So yeah, check that out. I'm gonna put a link to Amazon where you can get this film also, and check out their Instagram, because Lomography's Instagram, they like to feature other photographers all over the world doing things. So if you do an analog photo, especially if you're using their film, you can put hashtag #HeyLomography there, and there's a chance they may see your image and feature it. They can't feature everyone though, but that's something to keep in mind. But hey, thanks for watching, and keep in mind, no matter what film you use for your art or photography or medium format camera, until next time, as always, keep it real.